HubSpot Sequences are an automation tool designed to increase the productivity and efficiency of your sales teams. And it does this by providing a consistent and scalable way for you to streamline your outreach. So imagine a scenario where someone fills out a form on your website, you send a follow-up email, but a few days later you haven't heard back. Rather than have a reminder on your calendar or have to remember yourself to send that second email, a sequence is going to automatically do that for you. So we're going to send one email today. We're going to have a task to call the person the next day. We're going to have a future email scheduled if we haven't heard back. And this is going to provide a consistent way for your team to make sure we're not missing any prospects and we're always having a second or third or fourth touch point along the way. So right now we're going to create a simple sequence just to see what that looks like. I'm going to have an email be my first step. I'm just going to make it this portal audit one. So there we go. So the first thing that happens is we're just sending an email. And the next day, we want to say we're going to have an assignment to call this person. We'll place our call. You can put some notes and details in there. So again, here, this is one business day after that first email goes. If we haven't gotten a reply, we'll automatically get a task now to follow up. If we still have not heard back or we haven't connected with the person, we can send another email. It can be a completely new thread. We also have the option to nest that email into the existing reply. So we'll go ahead and do that now. And we'll set the delay here to be 3 business days. So across the board, I would have an email go. If we don't have a reply, we would place a call that next day. And then 3 days after that, we'd have a second email that would automatically send if we had not engaged yet with the prospect. We're going to come over here to the Settings tab. And you'll see that we can actually instruct HubSpot to make sure we don't send these emails except during business hours. We only send during certain windows. There's also a cool setting to make sure if we're engaging with multiple contacts at the same company, but we don't want to have multiple meetings set, we can unenroll contacts if at any time someone at the same company has replied to an email or has booked a meeting with us. So we'll go ahead and hit save now, and we'll just call this our sample, make it available to everybody. And now we'll enroll a contact to see what that looks like. So I'm just going to hit enroll. I'm going to use Megan as our example and hit next. And so now I can quickly preview what is my prospect going to see. Here's that first email. We see that we included some personalization tokens. So we see a first name there. We see a calendar link here. Then we would have our call. And then we would have our automated email. You have one last chance to kind of tweak anything here if you want to add like a personal touch. But then you can see I can just hit start sequence. I have a daily limit of up to 500 right here. I can even include a different person if I had multiple inboxes that I was connected with. And I would go ahead and hit start sequence. So after I've enrolled people, then HubSpot gives me some nice tools that I can go ahead and see how are my sequences performing. So here's our sample that we just did with one person enrolled. But across the board, I can see what's my meeting rate, what's my reply rate. If my emails aren't being effective, I know right away and I can go ahead and enhance my subject lines or add some better content to engage with that audience. But a really cool tool, again, to increase that efficiency and productivity for sales teams. Make sure you have a consistent message. Make sure you're not missing anybody across that process. Thanks so much for watching. Please reach out with any questions.